Right. Okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Isaiah 3, one of our favorites.
Yeah, it's about the garments.
Oh, so somebody get Isaiah 3:17. Maybe this is what the sister is referring to.
Isaiah chapter 3 verse 17.
Therefore
the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion.
Right.
And the Lord will discover their secret parts.
Right.
And that day the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments.
Right. So is this what y'all were going over on the Sabbath?
Yeah.
So you wanted to know why? You want to know why this happened?
Yeah, because I didn't understand it.
Right. Let's read up. Jump up to verse 16. It's right here in the 16th verse. So the question is, for those of you online, the sister's asking about Isaiah 3 and verse 17. Why did the Most High smite the women with in the crown of their head? Why did he? Basically, that's the baldness. You know, you look at our women today. They're running around doing what? They're running around throwing on weave, right? They're running around putting on other women's hair. Talking about Brazilian and Indonesian, and you over there spending $800 on Indonesian bundles. But it got to be a curse if you can't grow your own. You know there's something wrong when a man can grow his hair longer than a woman. Right? So the question is, why did the Most High do this to our women? Well, you know, you read this whole Isaiah, the 3rd chapter, it really goes into it. But we can start at Isaiah 3 and verse 16. Read that.
Verse 16.
Moreover,
the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty.
Because the daughters of Zion are what?
Haughty.
Somebody get that black dictionary, Lamad. Get that black dictionary. We're going to look up the word haughty.
For haughty, I got arrogant. Arrogantly superior.
They're what?
Arrogantly superior.
Right. So it says for the daughters of Zion are arrogant, right? Because ain't that how our women roll?
Come on.
Ain't that how the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian woman rolls? Arrogant and cocky, right? But is that a trait that they should have? No, it's not. That pride, because then it goes into pride, right? Then it goes into a whole nother realm of I'm independent, I can't be touched, I'm above the man, right? Jump up to verse 12.
Verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors.
Right.
And women rule over them.
Right. See, this was never a thing that was supposed to happen, where children were your oppressors and our women were ruled over us. That was never to happen. But because the daughters of Zion are haughty and they usurp authority over their man, they don't want to bow down and be in subjection to his rule, to his authority. The Most High said, okay, I'm going to take away the thing that you glory in the most, which is what? It's not just the hair, but it's the beauty, right? It's all the things that Cardi B will hop on Instagram and be like, you know, it's 2017 or it's 2019. You know, it costs more than just $100 to get your girl right. You know, she needs $300 for the wig and she needs $1,000 for the nails. I like Swarovski crystals. That's what she was on. Talking about Swarovski crystals?
I never even heard of that.
That's, you know, the store in the mall, Swarovski.
Oh, yeah.
They sell like the crystals and the watch. She's like, that's what she puts on her nails. So her nails cost $300. Her wig is $800. I'm like, you know there's a problem when you glory in having a wig. Remember when like your grandma had the wig? Why? Because she was literally going bald?
Yeah.
But now you 15 talking about a wig, a lace front wig. That's like a thing to have, and you got to have it in all colors. Because that's what they're teaching our young daughters to glory in. You had your hand up.
What did it mean when it say women's are?
But when it says women are oppressors?
Children's are oppressors.
Right. What it was saying was that because things were out of order with our nation, as they are now, children oppress us. Meaning, you know, if you talk to the typical black or Hispanic single mother, and you ask them, why do you celebrate Christmas? You know it's wrong, right? They'll say, yeah, but I do it for the kids. Right? That's a form of a child oppressing you, because now you're doing things that are wrong but you blame it on, I'm doing it to keep my children happy. You see that? Does that make sense?
God.
It says, and women rule over us, right? Now, when you go to somebody else, get Corinthians 11, 2 Corinthians 11, right? That was never the order. Who got it? But let's make sure she writes it down and she gets it. 11 and verse 1. 2 Corinthians 11 and verse 1. Read that.
2 Corinthians 11 verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Would to God ye could bear with me a little?
No, that's not it. 1 Corinthians 11. I'm sorry. 1 Corinthians 11.
All right. 1 Corinthians 11:1. Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ.
Right, so this was Paul speaking. Paul said, listen, be ye followers of me as I am of Christ. And he's going to show us how first everything should be established in a general order between God all the way down to the children. Read.
Now I praise you,
brethren,
that ye remember me in all things.
Right.
And keep the ordinances.
And keep the what?
Ordinances.
Yeah, he was saying, look, keep the order. Go ahead.
As I delivered them to you.
Read on.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Wait, the head of the man is the woman?
Is Christ.
Now, hold where you're at. When you jump back to Isaiah 3 and 12, it says, children are their oppressors and women rule over them. But that was not the order that Christ laid down. The order said that the head of the man is Christ, not the woman. Right? Read on, Jermaine.
Every man praying or prophesying.
I wanted that too. No, you skipped.
Oh. Salat. And the head of the woman is the man.
And it says the head of the woman is the man. See, the woman was not supposed to be over the man. You understand that? Okay, let's get one more scripture. Where you at? Hold where y'all two are at. Lamar, get Isaiah. Or Jeremiah.
Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 22.
Jeremiah chapter 31.
Y'all supposed to have these scriptures already ready to go, man.
Verse 22.
So we're understanding that the reason why the Most High had to smite the daughters of Zion in the scalp and take away their hair was because there was a lot of reasons, but that haughtiness, they try to propel themselves over the man. They try to usurp authority. Somebody else give me that one. Where are we at?
Isaiah chapter 31, verse 22.
31 and verse what?
Verse 22.
Read.
How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter?
Oh what?
Backsliding daughter.
Go ahead.
For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth.
See, it said the Lord had created a new thing in the earth. Because this wasn't something from the old days. When Adam and Eve was on the earth, Adam had the rulership over Eve. So the new thing is what? Read on.
A woman shall compass a man.
Yeah, a woman is going to compass a man, meaning that y'all are going to surround and overtake the man. Now, America gives you that power. How? Because what do they say? Here's some food stamps, here's some Section 8, and you can just get the man out the house. Or, here goes some food stamps, here goes some TANF. You don't need the man to pay your bills. You can put him on child support, take the child support money, get your hair did, nails did, everything did, right? You can use that money to hit the club. You don't need no man. You got the independent woman starter kit, the battery operated boyfriend, a college degree, and some food stamps. That's like the independent women starter kit. You know what I'm saying? They give you the sex shop where you go get your little toy. They tell you to go to college, get you an associate's degree in nursing, right, or cosmetology. Y'all laughing, but it's real, right? They say, oh, go get you, go to Pima College, go get you an associate's, right? And then go get you a puppy, and you call your son daddy. right? That's the black woman independent starter kit. You don't need the man. Not only did America give you the ability to compass and overtake the man, but now totally disregard him out of your life. But see, now you see why the Most High basically cursed you women, right? Our daughters of Zion and took away the things that made them beautiful as far as the outward appearance. You see that? Does that make sense?
Yeah, and who are the daughters of Zion?
Anyone? Oh, we don't have the tribe. Anyone from the so-called Negro all the way down to the so-called Mexicans. Right. So the daughters of Zion, the sons of Zion, us Israelites, the blacks, Hispanics, natives, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Naphtali, Issachar, Asher, the 12 tribes. So you would be considered the daughters of Zion. Where we at? I know.
Timothy chapter 2 verse 12.
Hold on to that. Finish up, Lamont.
Oh, that was it. The compass. A woman shall compass a man.
Read it from the top.
Jeremiah chapter 31 verse 22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter?
Right.
For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth.
Right.
A woman shall compass a man.
Right. A woman was going to compass a man. That wasn't something that was of the old time. That was something new because of our disobedience.
Okay.
Jump back to Corinthians. Start from verse 2.
1 Corinthians 11:2.
Uh-huh.
Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things,
Uh-huh.
and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you.
Right.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ,
Right.
and the head of the woman is the man.
Right. So Paul is reestablishing order here. Why? Because you had men in this church, men in Corinth that were being usurped. The authority was being taken from them by their woman. The woman was jumping up in church and acting like she was the man. Jumping up and taking the power that was never ever given to her. So Paul had to reestablish things through the Spirit of Christ and say, listen, y'all gonna follow me like I follow Christ. This is the order. You want to get your household in order? This is how you do it. These are the first principal things you have to understand. God, Christ, man, woman, child. I mean, think about it. Now, I know some, people get in an uproar like, especially you women, like, I don't want to bow to no man, but the sad part is, you want your kids to listen to you. You want, when you tell your child, no, don't do that. That they just, yes, mommy. That's what you want. But you don't want that for yourself. You think it's a big deal to be, you want your children to submit to you wholeheartedly with no questions asked, but you don't want to do it to your husband. The Bible is telling us right here, the order. We go through this a lot, right? These basic scriptures.
Go ahead.
Jump back where you at.
Isaiah chapter 3 verse 12.
Actually, hold where you at. Go to where you at, Major.
1 Timothy
Uh-huh.
chapter 2 verse 12.
So Paul had to establish the order because there was none. That's the thing. This new thing that was created, women were trying to usurp authority. So Paul had to come back and say, no, listen, this is what Christ wants. Read where you at.
But I suffer not a woman to teach,
Uh-huh.
nor to usurp authority over the man.
Right. Now, I went over this the other day. It says, suffer not a woman to teach, comma, nor usurp authority over the man. So it's not saying, because a lot of people, like, I know that y'all's grammar skills sometimes don't be on point. And so you miss like certain like commas and periods and colons and semicolons. A lot of people don't know what they mean. A comma was a break in the sentence, but he never left off the topic. It was about a woman teaching or usurping authority over a man. It wasn't about a woman teaching. Because are not women commanded to teach? In Titus, right? He told the old women to teach the young women. So we know that it wasn't about a woman not teaching at all, but it was about a woman not teaching a man or usurping authority over her man or any man. Let's look up the word usurp. Very important words. Very important words that we got to look up so we can understand what the scriptures are saying. I seen a good meme saying Cardi B is going to be the reason why a lot of females aren't going to get married. Yeah, if you following her example. Yeah, you follow Cardi B. Come on. You know what's sad though? Cardi B will be ratchet as hell on Instagram and ratchet as hell on Facebook and ratchet as hell on Instagram. But even she knows she needs a man. Why do you think she running up under Offset? Why do you think? I mean, he's just raggedy as hell too, so he'll put up with anything. He ain't got no standards. That's the thing. The world ain't got no standards, so they'll deal with whatever. But even she knows she needs a man. She needs a father for her baby. Even she ain't really on that independent tip. Even when Beyonce was like, you know, independent women, oh my mama, independent, oh yeah, right? Mm-hmm. But then she came right back talking about cater to you, right? Did she not? Wow, she was married. I mean, come on, they pump to you this independent, haughty spirit, and they be married for like 10 years. They'll pimp the Jay-Z's and the Nas's. They'll pump to the man, the black man, be a pimp, be this, be that, but be married up under Khalees and married up under Beyonce and chasing this woman because they want you to be something that they're not even. These women ain't running around in no real independence. Beyonce ain't running around talking about independent women. Hell nah. She got Jay-Z. Right? Cardi B got Offset. Eve got the white boy she went and married. Like all these chicks that was on some independent, haughty, I'm greater than thou, I don't need no man movement. They lied to you, man. They gassed y'all up, got married under your noses, got happy families under your noses while you still doing what? Chasing independent life.
Yep.
Trying to still be an independent, but miserable at it. Scarred and hurt. Going through all the things that we're going to read in Isaiah 3. I'm not going to go all super in depth, but I just wanted to get these few scriptures out. Who got usurp?
Usurp. To seize.
To what?
To seize. To take over. To take possession. To steal.
Right. So it says, read where you at, Major?
Con. 2 Timothy. 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 12. Precept. But to be in silence.
Start from the top.
Con. But I suffer not a woman to teach. Nor to usurp authority over the man.
Right, so I suffer not a woman to teach a man or to steal his authority.
Or to overthrow, or to remove, to topple, to unseat, to the throne.
Yeah. Because it wasn't your throne.
God.
Ain't no princesses in Israel, man. It's kings. It's kings, princesses, kings and princes.
No queens,
Excuse me, no queens.
God.
Well, there's princesses. I'm sorry. Don't hurt me online. Don't hurt me. But y'all gotta understand that. So now we get back to Isaiah, and we understand. Well, why did the Most High have to go to these extremes? Well, because that independent, I don't need a man's spirit was based off of my hair, my nails, my ride, the clothes I was wearing, my tinkling ornaments. You know how much gold I was wearing, my gold chains, my bamboo earrings and Fendi bag. Ain't that what America tells you a woman is?
Absolutely.
Her handbags, if she ain't got no red bottoms, right? If her handbag don't cost $3,000, if her bundles ain't glued down right or whatever, right? If she ain't got a full set, that's what they call nails, right? A full set, right? If she ain't got the full set with the toes to match, you ain't no real woman. That's what they consider being a real woman. That's what they consider being a mother, because you can microwave something. Nah, it was more than that. It was about that inward woman. Where we at?
Isaiah chapter 3, verse 17.
Go ahead.
Therefore the Lord will smite with a scab.
Right, read from the top. Verse 16.
Moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty.
Right, because they're haughty, because they want to usurp authority, because they don't want to fall in order under. Listen, if you fall out of order with your husband, you're out of order with Christ. So you don't want to fall in order with Christ first and foremost. Go ahead.
And walk with stretched forth neck.
Yeah, you walk with that stretched forth neck. You peeping around in everybody's business. You know how, back in the day when you watch the little TV shows and the neck be popping back and forth and like a chicken. Right? Or either they call them chicken heads. That's where that terminology came from. Neck be just stretched out. All up in everybody's business. Back and forth. Go ahead.
And wanton eyes.
Yeah, and wanton eyes. You wanton. You those eyes, you just looking at, those women, man, that go ahead, go ahead.
It's like the scripture that says that a harlot can be known by her eyelids.
Right. You know those women when you're talking to her and she's staring you dead in your eyes like you a man, and it's all lust, it's all wanton. She's looking deep into your spirit, trying to entice. Yeah, the women weren't supposed to be like that. That's a shameless woman.
God.
Our women were supposed to be shamefaced. You wasn't supposed to just be looking on another man dead in his eyes like, "What's up, nigga?" Right? Look at him like he's a man. But that's that haughty spirit that our women carry. Go ahead. Read on.
Walking and mincing as they go.
Go ahead.
And making a tinkling with their feet.
Yeah, you moving around for attention, man. You tinkling around. I'm here. Go ahead.
Therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head.
He's going to do what?
Therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head.
Yeah, man, now you bald. Now you can't take glory in your own hair. It's sad because you got to take glory in a Brazilian or the Indonesian. Or before that, it was the horse. Go ahead.
The head of the daughters of Zion.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord will discover their secret parts.
Read on.
In that day, the Lord will take away the bravery of the tinkling ornaments.
You see how it says the bravery of their tinkling ornaments? This is what they took bravery in. This is what they felt like this was what made me a woman. It's like a man that he takes bravery in his outward appearance, his clothing. It's like our people today, man. I got my Gucci flip slides. I got my Supreme little fanny pack, little man purse, right? I got my wrinkled, stretched out Gucci headband, right? Got my Gucci jacket. So now I feel brave because I'm fitting the standards that society has made. But see, we were supposed to be brave in the Most High. Brave in Christ, not brave in our material. But it said, I'm going to take away the bravery of these things. The things you put your trust in, I'm going to take that away. Go ahead.
In that day, the Lord will take away the bravery of the tinkling ornaments about their feet.
Read.
And their calls and their round tires like the moon. The chains and the bracelets.
Right.
And the mufflers.
Yeah, because think about it. The chains and the bracelets, right? If he didn't go to Jared, if he didn't go hit K's Jewelers and get you the 10-carat tennis bracelet, he wasn't a real man and he don't really love you.
I mean, that's what they say though. Like when you see a woman's ring,
yeah,
and you see like the size of the ring, that's like you be like, oh yeah, he really loves me.
He must love you.
Ring.
Yeah.
Well, like, oh look, he loved me. Look at that.
Yep.
Yeah, all that. So.
Yeah, that's the belief that love is predicated on how big of a rock you got, or how much Burberry or whatever he can buy you. That's not real love, and that again, that's not what makes you a woman.
Right.
Because you can walk around in high heel red bottoms, like that don't make you a woman. It just make you a chick with some red bottoms. That's it. It makes you a female with red bottoms on. Read on.
The bonnets and the ornaments of the legs.
Right.
And the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, the rings and nose jewels.
Because these are the things that beautified our people outwardly. Right? This is what, even when you read, I believe it's in Ezekiel, when the Most High said he cleaned us up, he beautified us. What is that, Ezekiel 16? He beautified us. He beautified us with these things. It was the headbands and the bonnets and the ornaments and the chains and the jewels in the forehead. That was for the outward beauty. Move over so I can see. You understand it? Right. That was for the outward beauty. But we took it so far that we made that the only thing that we relied on. Like, this is what makes me who I am. If I have this certain car, this certain bag, these shoes on, like, you ain't nothing if you ain't got a pair of Nikes on. Or I can't talk to you if you ain't rocking Louis. And nigga, what are you talking about? Who the hell is Louis? What the hell? Who the hell's that guy? I've never met a Louis. Louis Vuitton. I don't know him. Why do I want him on my back? You know, but this is how they program our people.
God.
If you ain't rocking Louis, if you ain't rocking some gay dead faggot, excuse me, if you ain't rocking some homosexual on your back, like niggas is still running after Versace. He's a known homo. You so anti-gay, but you'll rock Versace.
God.
And run around with Gucci and Louis and Dolce & Gabbana. Two homos. And be proud of it. These are Dolce & Gabbana. I paid cheap for these. Damn, you just funding the gay agenda? But that's what it's about. That's how confused our people are. God. I don't mess with that gay stuff, man. But let me go get these Dolce & Gabbanas. Let me go get these Sachis. Versace all over my body, right? And then you'll make a damn song to it. Then you'll make a whole song to it, but you ain't about that gay stuff. But idiot. Our people, man, are confused. It's sad. The material's got us. Man, the material, the white man, bro, he got us chasing him in every which way. But it tells us in Deuteronomy, man. It tells us in Deuteronomy that we would chase we would have to go to our enemy in thirst and in hunger and in nakedness. That would mean you got to kill yourself for Versace and Gucci and fake gold on the rope. Read on.
The changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles, and the wimples, and the crisping pines, the glasses, and the fine linen.
Right, so to show, this is showing that we were, listen, from decades, we like to get decked out. We rock glasses and crisping pins and bonnets, earrings, nose jewels. We did all this, but is the Most High saying that that's where you're supposed to set is that where your mind is supposed to be on? No, go to 2 Timothy's. We're going to hit this last one. I mean, you understand it, right, sis? Right. Go to 2 Timothy's. And it's funny because we went over this kind of with the sisters on Sunday. What's the scripture in 2 Timothy's that I want? Who got it? What sister was here? Who got it? Which one? Go to 2 Timothy's chapter 2 and verse. 1 Timothy's 2, right? Yeah. 1 Timothy's 2 and 9.
1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 9.
Actually, let's get Peter's. Let's get Peter's instead. Go to 1 Peter's 3. Because this is more direct and to the point. Go to 1 Peter's 3. Go to 1 Peter's 3 and verse 1.
1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands.
Right, here it goes again. Here it goes again. Order. You got to be subject to your own husband. Right? Go ahead.
God, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives.
Yeah, that conversation of the wives, that gossip girl mentality. You get one with that, and then now you're no longer falling under the wisdom or following the wisdom of the Most High through your husband. Because now you want to follow the gossip girls. You want to follow what your coworker at work is saying. She's into that gossip. Now you in everybody's business. So you get won over by that, and you're no longer in subjection to your husband. This is why the Most High had to smite our women, because they were being won by the conversation of wives and taking themselves out of subjection to what their husbands wanted. Read on. You can drop that, Max. Read.
While they behold your chaste conversation.
Right, your chaste conversation. Somebody look that word up. We got to look these words up so y'all can understand. And I went through this on Sunday, yesterday with the sisters. Man, this very scripture and these very definitions. So they should be right on point, pulling them. Chase. You got it.
Platonic. Innocent.
Platonic, innocent, what else? Restrained, right? So you're chase conversation. Now, meaning I'm not dipping and dodging into everybody's business. My conversation is restrained. It's on godly things, right?
Got it.
What else?
Simple, plain, unadorned, undecorated, unornamented, unblemished.
Unblemished, right? I got pure, holy conversation. Read on in the scriptures.
God, while they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear.
Right? Go ahead.
Whose adorning, let it not be the outward adorning.
Right. Whose adorning, let it not be the outward adorning.
Got it.
Because it wasn't about the outward. It wasn't about what I wore, what I put on, what jewels I had. That's not what the Most High was looking at. See, when you get into that outward adorning and you start relying on that, guess what? You start to puff yourself up above who you really are. You start to put yourself in a whole other stratosphere. So the Most High had to really break us down and say, listen, I'm taking all this stuff away from y'all. I'm going to break you down to the lowest level. You're going to be bums. Right? You gonna, but I'm going to take away, think about it, man. When your hair gets taken away, come on, man. The one thing that grows naturally, the Most High is like, stop that. No hair. Oh, there's more in that Isaiah that we didn't hit. Now you're going to be overweight. You're going to have to work to have a decent figure. These are all curses, man. Because why? We rely too much on the carnal. Read.
God, whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting of the hair.
Of plaiting the hair or braiding the hair. Now, I got to say this. Was he saying, don't get your hair braided? Don't look good? No. Because you got brothers that be teaching. Listen, I was just dealing with a cat on this the other day. Talking about any woman that's trying to wear gold is not of the kingdom. What the hell are you talking about, bro? The script, and then he tried to use 2 Timothy 2 and 9, and 1 Timothy 2 and 9. I'm like, wait a minute. It's not saying that. Let's go to Peter's. Let's go here. Let's go here. So he's not saying that you can't wear gold or braid your hair or look nice. That's not what he's saying. But you can still do all that and be modest about it. That shouldn't be what you rely on. That shouldn't be your bravery. All of a sudden now you look nice. Now you better than everybody else. What about your spirit? Read on.
And of wearing of gold.
Right.
Of putting on of apparel. But let it be the hidden man of the heart.
Yeah. And how do you know it's not that he wasn't saying don't braid your hair and wear gold? Was he saying don't put on clothes either? Of course not. Of course not. But he said let it be what?
The hidden man of the heart.
Yeah, it was about that inward man.
God.
It was about that inward woman. It was about putting off the old man and putting on the new, renewed in the image of Christ. Colossians 3 and verse 9. That's what it was about. It wasn't about your Gucci, your Louis, your Nike, your Timbs. And if you ain't got it, I ain't messing with you. It was about, man, what's your spirit like? What's your spirit changing from? Read on.
In that which is not corruptible.
Right, and that was the problem. We were corrupted by these things.
What verse is he reading?
He's, where you at?
1 Peter chapter 3, verse 4.
Right. And see, we were corrupted by these things. We're corrupted by riches. We're corrupted by the material things. That's why the Most High had to take them. You get corrupted because you go get your hair did. All of a sudden now your spirit is haughty. You get a little weave, man. You get a little finger wave, and all of a sudden, like nobody can tell you nothing. You get that TANF card reloaded or food stamp card reloaded at 1201, and all of a sudden, nobody can say nothing. Wait till I get my money, right? That's what y'all be on. Y'all get the damn food stamp card reloaded. But what happened the whole other week when you was starving and you needed help and you was humble and broken down? But as soon as you get a little bit, that's how our people roll though, and it's wrong. But that's why the Most High had to take these things away from us. Read on.
Even the ornaments of the meek and quiet spirit.
Even the what?
The ornaments of the meek and quiet spirit.
What is a meek? Hold on, let's rewind. What does an ornament do? Nobody from Sunday. What does an ornament do to a Christmas or to a tree? When they put an ornament on a tree,
Decorates.
it decorates it, right? It makes it more beautiful. An ornament is supposed to beautify something. He said, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit. These are the things you're supposed to be decked out in. It wasn't about the outward appearance and the outward apparel. It was about the decoration of a meek and quiet spirit, man. This is what the Most High wanted you to be decked out in for you women. It wasn't about the material, the outward adorning. It was that inward adorning. Read on.
Which is in the sight of God of great price.
Yeah, this is what's valuable to the Most High. This is what's valuable to your husband.
God.
Not because you can go produce a paycheck or because you can show up with a box with some Nikes. Yeah, I took my boo shopping today. Like, who cares? Who cares? What's your spirit like? Are you meek and quiet? Does my Nikes come at a price? The price of me having to hear you just rah, 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 rah. A lot of times that's what it is.
Yeah.
Things, they come with them. Y'all get all the brothers get all the material, but it comes at a price. Because there's no meek and quiet spirit. There's no humility. There's no subjection attached to that. I got you them shoes. Those are my shoes. I seen a chick roll up on a dude in the Walmart. He was, okay, granted, he was with some other chick. It was a video. I didn't see it personally. But he was with some other chick in the Walmart. Bro, she made this dude like basically strip naked. Like, those are my shoes, give them to me. Those are my pants. What the hell are you talking about?
Damn.
But you see what I'm saying? Where it comes attached with some stipulation. It comes attached with that haughty, high-minded spirit. No humility. None at all. Just pride. Where we at?
Verse 5. For after this manner in the old time, the holy women also, who trusted in the Most High.
It says what? Read it from the verse 5. I know I'm going into this question, but got to. Read verse 5.
For after this manner in the old time,
right,
the holy women also,
right,
who trusted in the Most High.
What did these women of old time do?
Trusted in the Most High.
See, the women of old time, they adorn themselves in this manner. Not with the braiding of the hair and the plaiting of the clothes plaiting of the hair and the adorning of the outward, but they adorn themselves with meekness and righteousness. Hold where you at. Hold where you at. Go to, you'll read it. Go to, read Job chapter 29 and verse 14.
Job chapter 29 verse 14.
Go ahead.
I put on righteousness.
He did what?
I put on righteousness.
Go ahead.
And it clothed me.
Yeah, this was Job. He said, I put on righteousness. I put on humility, meekness. This is what us as Israelites supposed to be doing. Not just the women.
God.
Not just the women, because the men were cursed too. Let's be real. It wasn't just the women. A lot of things got took from us because of our stiff-necked, hard-headed, rebellious, prideful spirit. But he said, read it again.
I put on righteousness. And it clothed me. My judgment was as a robe and a diadem.
Right. I put on righteousness and it clothed me, man. This is what we're supposed to put on.
Oh, man.
Read on.
Verse 15. I was eyes to the blind. And feet was I to the lame.
Yeah, you see that? It was about helping. It was about leading the people. It was about the nation. Jump back to where you at in Peter. So read verse 5.
For after this manner in the old time, the holy women also, who trusted in the Most High.
They trusted in the Most High. How do you know they trusted in the Most High?
Adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands.
Wait, what did they do?
Being in subjection unto their own husbands.
This is how you know a woman trusts the Most High.
God.
She'll adorn herself in righteousness, in meekness, but she'll follow her husband. She'll be in subjection to her husband.
God.
This is how a woman shows trust in the Most High. Because she understands that what? Her man is being led by the Most High. She understands God, Christ, man, woman, child. Right?
God.
Read verse 5 one more time. I like that verse.
For after this manner in the old time,
right?
The holy women
so this
also.
Was from remember, this was from the old time. This was from the old time, but then there was a time we fell off. And the Most High have to smash us. And hit you in the head and curse you. Hit you in the crown. Take away your hair, your tingling ornaments. But there was a time when the women of old time, go ahead.
Who trusted in the Most High.
The ones that trusted in God, read.
Adored themselves.
Read.
Being in subjection unto their own husbands.
That's how they adorned themselves, man. It wasn't about clothing. It wasn't about their hair. Their adornment was, let me follow what my husband said. Let me follow the righteous rule that my husband is laying down. Let me not go back and forth with that man. Let me not try to test his intellect and question his judgment. Let me just follow. Watch, read on.
Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham.
Even as she did what?
Obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well and are not afraid with any.
Now, check this out. When Sarah called Abraham Lord, were they technically married? Y'all remember the story? She called him Lord when what?
She gave him water.
No. He was on the camel, she was in the field. Right? Oh, my. Okay, wrong story. Wrong story. Scratch that from the record. But read on.
Come, and are not afraid with any amazement.
Read verse 6.
Come, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughter ye are.
Right?
As long as ye do well and are not afraid with any amazement.
Yeah, see, that amazement, that being afraid, when your husband says, hey, we don't make this move, and you're like, how we gonna do that? Why? You start panting and breathing all heavy, and you start having an asthma attack out of nowhere.
Questioning him.
Yeah, you start questioning everything and breathing heavy and fine. Like, you ain't supposed to be afraid with any amazement if you trust in the Most High. But going back to the question, the reason why that had to happen was because the women relied too much on their outward appearance. They relied too much on how they looked and not enough on being in subjection to their husband and being in subjection to the Most High.